Yeah, New York, I visited there in 2017, part of a field trip and stuff.
Yeah, it's very weird. I realize I haven't been here since like 1994 or something. It seems like recently, but it wasn't. It was a
Yeah,
long
he
time
hasn't
ago.
been since '89. I came here for the first time this year. Once I moved to Pennsylvania, like this place was only 3 hours from where I lived, so I was like, man, I gotta go.
I don't even know. It's only really 3.5 from where I am
Yeah?
because I live right by the bridge. You're in.
Okay, I had no idea it was so
I
close to New
mean,
York
it's
City.
if there's
Yeah.
traffic, it's slow. But I live in the most southern part of like New York, like whatever,
Yeah.
like an hour from like Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I could.
What channel is this on though, or what?
What's the Sound Epistemology is the name of the YouTube channel. Yeah.
If you scan that QR code, it'll take
You
you right
scan the QR on your phone, you'll
Okay.
get right to it. Uh, so David, what's something that's important to you? I know that's a really broad question. No, I mean,
Well, I guess democracy is important.
of course. And what a place to be discussing
Yes.
it than right here. Um, okay, why is democracy important to
Why?
you? Yeah.
Because if not for democracy, I think you would have dictatorship or fascism or, you know.
Yeah. So it's just given the options of different ways to run a regime.
Yeah, isn't that what who was it? Churchill said? It's the
It's the best of worst systems.
it's the one the worst system there is or something. What did he say?
I
Except
think
for
it's
all
the
the
best
others.
of worst systems,
Yeah,
is the way I've
something
heard
like
it been
that.
told
Yeah.
before. Um, so, do you have any beliefs regarding democracy that you'd like to go over?
Not really. Just that I think that it is, I hate
Oh,
to
we
sound
could.
like Joe Biden, but I think it is under attack all around
Okay.
the world.
Okay. So, democracy is under attack all around the world. We can go over that. How confident are you in that?
I mean, I think if you look around the world, let's say in Hungary, it's become like whatever you want to call it, autocratic, or Israel even is becoming somewhat autocratic right now. Definitely, if Trump got back in, I think it certainly would become less democratic, or it is less democratic than it used to be.
Okay. So, you're seeing a bunch of countries that you think are becoming autocratic. Um, what does that mean?
It means like with a one man, strong man, which people seem to like, but it's dangerous.
Mm. So, yeah, there are these certain muchacho personalities that are being elected into power and
Or not elected
or not
necessarily. I mean,
elected.
Putin's, I wouldn't say he was elected, but, he might say he was, or, a lot of different leaders are going that way. What's the guy in Hungary's name? Orbach? I don't even remember his name, but whatever
Orban.
yeah.
Yeah.
Orbach, Jerry Orbach. Do you know who Jerry Orbach is?
No, he sounds like somebody from like Brooklyn or something.
No, well, he was in Law and Order. He was Detective Briscoe. He was also in the play 42nd. He was a big actor at one time. I met him
Okay.
once, though. So,
Cool, cool.
but that's not Orbach, Jerry Orbach. Oh, he was in Dirty Dancing. He played the father. That you might have seen.
Ah, okay, I've seen Dirty Dancing
Okay, he
before,
played
yeah.
the father.
Okay.
What was her name? Baby's father.
Okay, I'm trying to think of what my question was. Yeah, democracy, it's under attack. Um, I just want to get a gauge of your confidence on it. Let's say,
What do you mean confident?
yeah. So what I mean is, all beliefs, we have a certain amount of confidence in it. Some people are absolutely sure of something, like there's nothing that can change their mind. That's how sure they are. And then there's people that strongly agree that something is the case. And then there's people that just agree. And these aircrafts, oh my God, they're going to be a bit of trouble. If you had a choice between slightly agree, strongly agree, and then absolutely certain, can't change my mind, how do you feel in regards to the claim democracy is under attack all over the world?
Strongly agree, but is that the highest one?
No, the
Maybe
highest is absolute certainty.
strongly agree.
Okay, yeah. All right. And what is the biggest reason why you think this is the case?
The biggest reason? I think in a lot of countries, like I said before, autocratic leaders are getting in somehow.
Mhm. And yeah, the autocratic leaders you referred to were ones that were like the strongman types
Right.
that were, and they some were
I mean,
elected,
some
some were
countries'
not.
democracy
Yeah.
is probably getting stronger, but not many. I think in many it's not getting stronger.
Okay. What is it about these strong men getting into power that mean that there's an attack on democracy? Hmm.
Um, like I think, I mean, let's say when Trump lost the election, which he lost, wasn't even really that close an election. He lost by 7 million votes. He lost by, I know it goes by electoral votes, but he lost most of those states by reason. I mean, he wouldn't give in. He wouldn't concede. I mean, I think he was planning all along to contest it, even though he knew he lost. And I think, you know, the fact that so many people still support him shows that people don't seem to care that much about democracy. At least right now, at least on that particular side.
Mm, okay. Um, so because and I might misunderstand what you're saying. Just correct me if I'm wrong. But it sounds like people are supporting a person that clearly lost an election and uh,
And attacked the Capitol and did things, tried to, you know, overthrow the electoral system, which has been in
okay.
place for
So
250
it's
years, all those different things.
because there's a significant amount of the American people that still support a man that tried to contest the election results.
Well, not contested. He
Overthrow.
lost
Yeah.
in the court 63-1, so he
Okay.
had already lost. You can't, let's say when Al Gore contested it, as soon as he lost in the courts, that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Because that's
Trump kept
what this
going.
country's supposed to be like. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't want to dwell on Trump. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I do think. I mean, I think it's pretty clear, at least to me, that a lot of people do like a strong man, unfortunately, and it leads to what happened in Germany and other places. Not just Hitler, but other people, Stalin too, or millions and millions of deaths, probably 20 million deaths between Hitler and Stalin.
Do you think that a strong man always leads to the corrosion of democracy, or do you think that it's not necessarily?
I think it does because, we have, they try to stay in power forever. And let's say democracy, let's say here the president's limited to 2 terms. But if like Putin has been in for I don't know how many years, 20 already, something.
It's been a while.
I'm just saying, if strong men don't give up power, but in a democracy normally you have ways that you have to give up power.
Okay. So yeah, we're not going to dwell.
By the way, I majored in political science. I'm a lawyer, and I know I sound terrible now, but
no, you don't.
Very tired.
No, and also
after my drive from I did walk from the Capitol.
We walked from the other side of the National Mall over there all the way to here. I mean, we are pooping.
Yeah, I should have really gone. Did you see the Supreme Court? That's on the other side.
I've seen it before.
I've seen it before too, but not in 25 years.
Okay, so Trump, we're not going to dwell on it, but I just want to say Trump is one of the things you pointed to for why democracy seems to be under attack. And I'm wondering, are there other examples of
I think
this happening?
Netanyahu in Israel. I mean, I know these are right-wing people, and it's not necessarily all a right-wing thing, but in Israel, which I was there recently, and my daughter was living there for a while. Until very recently, he's basically trying to, end the judicial system as it's been for 70 years, and people are going along with him. Not most people, but about half the people, just like in this country.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, their system is different than ours, but they still have checks and balances, and the Supreme Court is a check on the Parliament,
Mm.
and he's trying to really do away with it. Partially because may not be because he's under trial for corruption as well, and he, similar to Trump, he thinks if he can get rid of the judicial system, they won't be able to.
Okay. So when you talk about autocratic leaders, you're talking about men that you think are trying to override the system of democracy.
Yes, and just seize power and hold power
Just
that,
hold
that
power
people don't
indefinitely.
necessarily want them to have.
Yeah. And when you say democracy is under attack from these guys, like you're saying it's
Not
because
necessarily from those guys. I mean,
Oh.
yes, it is from the guys, but it's also, I think, a system that may or may not, whatever, have the power to survive on its own. I don't know, if it's necessarily those guys. I mean, it's just getting weaker as people are maybe more materialistic and more thinking about other things or whatever it might be. I think it's, not as, I don't know, I'm coming out of the Lincoln Memorial, but not as cherished as it once was. So it might not just be the guys; it might be the attitude of the people.
that people don't cherish democracy as much anymore?
Right. I mean, if they thought some guy could make them wealthy, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
they would take that over democracy, like somebody
Okay.
promising them.
Oh, you mean like government insiders? You don't mean the people at large, or do you?
No, I think the people at large may
Yeah.
not be as interested in democracy as they
Okay.
once were.
Yeah.
Just maybe from the passage of time, even though
What's a way we could test that?
I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next election.
Is there a way you could figure out? Is there a way that could shift your confidence on that?
Not really, because I think it would take too long a period of time to really test it. In other words, this could be a temporary downswing in democracy, but it might just go up on its own. And I don't know if on its own is the way to put it, but you know what I mean. It's like I don't know if I'll be alive long enough to really see if what I'm saying is correct.
Okay.
But coming out of there, I mean, they had similar problems
If there's not a way to test
150 years ago.
if there's not a way to test it, and there's not a way to shift your confidence one way or the other on where things are leaning, do you think that justifies being strongly sure that democracy is under attack?
Only because even though I might not sound it right now, I've studied it and read a lot about it throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's just saying it without no information.
Right.
Which some
You
people
have done the
do.
studying. If there was someone who also studied it, let's say as
And
much
thought
as
differently?
you, and thought differently,
That's possible.
should they be just as confident that it's not under attack?
I don't think they should be, but they would say they should be. I can't speak for them.
They would be using the same background as you, like as far as
Yes, I
the
know what you're
studying.
saying. Everyone has different opinions, and even with the same amount of information. But I think a lot of that does come from how they were brought up and how their parents brought them up and what they were taught. So I think they do have preconceived notions that I'm not saying I don't have too. I have my own, but it's an interesting question. But so what are you trying to get at, really?
Oh, I'm just exploring your reasoning. I'm seeing what makes you tick. And yeah, I'm really...
I am from New York. I do probably have a liberal background.
Yeah.
I'm sort of a liberal law school, if there's such a thing, that I went to. But that's, I've studied a lot and read a lot and traveled a lot, and those are my conclusions. But
Okay.
I could be
Thank-
wrong.
Thank you so much for this
All right.
discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
I got to know you.
does it really? How many people are you doing a day of this? Just out of curiosity, like hundreds or 10 or?
I wish hundreds. I'd say that I think we might get 10 by the end of the day.
So do I take a picture?
Oh,
of
you
it?
scan that little barcode there.
feel like you're taking a picture in a yellow, like an arrest.
Yeah. Yeah. You were one of my favorite interviews today, for what it's worth. Yeah.
Thanks so much for stopping.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, take care.
Yeah.
Him again? Dax.
Dax.
Hey, Dax Shepard. Who's that?
That's a celebrity. Yeah. An actor.
Take care.
Yeah.
Is that an outsider test for democracy being under attack?
Yes.
How did that go?
That went well. I got him to think. I got him to, reconsider things. Successful execution of the outsider test. This is what I wanted. This
Cool.
is what I expected. Yeah.
Cool.
So
So you're happy with that one?
I'm happy with that one. That one can go on the channel, no problem. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What was his reasoning?
What was his reason? Well, it started with his big thing is that it's under attack because there's these autocrats. That was the word he used. We fleshed it out. He's talking about strongmen types that try to use the system to either overthrow democracy or only use democracy when it benefits them, kind of thing. Like, basically, use the means of government for their advantage. And he's arguing that people just don't care about democracy as much anymore. He looks at the support of President Trump and Netanyahu and Israel, and how even though these people have been caught doing corrupt things and just working for themselves or contesting election results, he looks at it and he's like, well, gosh, people still support the guy. So yeah, democracy seems to be not as valuable to people. And so I asked him, I was like, okay, how could we know if it was as valuable to people now as then? And he's like, I don't really know. I mean, by the time we figure out where things go, that'll be many years from now, whatever. And I was like, well, is there any way we could, shift your confidence? And he's like, no, not really. I mean, I've been studying this stuff for years and years. And that's where the outsider test came in. The outsider test came in, was like, okay, well, let's say that I know a guy that's also been studying this for years and years, and he doesn't think democracy is coming under attack. He's like, I didn't just say that. I said, should that person be just as confident that it's not under attack as you are that it is under attack? And he's like, well, no, I don't think they should be. A lot of that can come down to personal upbringing. And then he immediately said, well, of course, I have my personal upbringing too. And I was like, this is a great one.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Yeah.
So there's some reflection there.
There was reflection. Yeah.
And then, and
So
so,
done. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nice work.
Nice work. Yes. Oh, they're looking at us. You want to do an interview of this?